Hello, welcome to Spy Money. What a day. Killed me. I have been saying for a couple weeks that we are in a bull market. Say, Clay. And I have been playing it that way for a couple weeks. And I've made a lot of money over the last couple weeks doing all this. But this kind of reminds me of a cup and handle, and all of the charts that we've been going through pretty much say cup and handle. So, hello, Harrison. And so I was playing it that way, and I actually had the chart here, and I thought it was going to sell off down to the 23.59. That's where I was thinking it was going to go. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, this morning, we get a rage that is just come out of nowhere, and that thing, I haven't even looked to see how much it went. Right now we are at about 227 points. 227. That is huge. I thought there was Fed money dumped in it, but I have not seen any news whatsoever with Fed money being dumped in it. So I got caught with my pants down on this one. I bought puts up in here, and I loaded up on the puts because I thought it would be, sell off through Friday. That's what I thought. I thought the Wednesday was the big old spike. We actually went up here, sold off. Went up, sold off a little bit, went up, sold off. Went up, sold off. So I thought that, the way the market was going, I thought it would just keep on selling off. So, okay, salty. I was wondering who Harrison was. So if you look back, you can see every time it went up, it would sell off. Sell off, and then we go up, sell off, up, sell off, up, sell off. Here it is again, and just keeps on doing this. That is the pattern. Even coming up, it would go up, sell off, then we go up, sell off, up, sell off. So it just kept on going, and I thought that this would actually keep on going. So what I'm hoping is that this went up today and it's going to sell off. I would like for it to. I hate to see anything bad happen to the American economy. But I'll be quite honest with you, if we could get one good sell-off back down to 21.74, I would probably take a month off because that is how much money that would be. And I thought that it would actually come down to 23.61. I was going to sell at opening. So as soon as we opened up, I was going to sell my SPY puts and so forth. I have MES contracts, and I've got puts on gold, puts on ES. I was a complete bear. I was a grizzly bear on this. And I have not been bearish like that, and I cannot remember when. I probably should have done it on March the 4th or something when that happened. So back in February, no, it wasn't February. So it dropped, yeah, it was February. Back at the end of February is when I should have loaded up just the way I did and just let it ride. But I didn't at that time because I didn't think we would actually sell off the way we did. So the one time that I do, it starts doing it. So, but we've got a 4-hour red candle coming down, so that's promising. I would like to see it come on down to, I'd like to see it at least come down to about 23.98 or so, at least down to where it was going. And it very well may do. We talked about this in our Discord group. If you're not part of our Discord group, then what we do is we do live streams during the day, usually at midday. Today was a little bit later than that. And we discuss trading and so forth. We'll do live trading right on the spot, talk through everything. And today's topic was, where do you think the market's going? Because a bunch of people are kind of bummed out. The people with calls are bummed out because this little drop here killed their premiums. And then when it come up, they're still up here, not where they were right over here. So that drop really killed them. And so the puts are mad, the calls are mad, everybody's mad. Everybody's just whining about their puts and calls, including me. So I'm thinking, based on what they have done in the past, is I think that we will sell off. And we're trying to sell off here. And if you look, we're underneath the VWAP, guys. Candles under the VWAP. Now that doesn't mean it can't go over top of them, but that VWAP is probably going to push it down today. So that's what I'm hoping for. Today we were above the VWAP all day. So if we go to the 15 so you can see it better, we were above the 15 pretty much all day. And it just run that way for a long time. we've stayed there. Right here, we actually pulled back a little bit off the VWAP. Then we went up, we pulled back a little bit, but for the most part, it's been above it. Today was like one huge rally and a rage of fire. But it did actually pop through the VWAP here, and it's kind of come over. I'm hoping that it'll actually pull back and come on down. I don't, usually every Friday it will actually sell off, but, that could actually be a trap as well. Usually about every 8 or 10 Fridays you'll see a green day, and it's about time for a green day. So the one time that I actually played it according to the way it normally does, it hurt me. So until you sell, it don't hurt you, but I think that, if it'll just at least come down to right on through here, I would be a lot happier here. The puts that I have where it come down and then shot up, if it comes down to right here, that will be about the same as where it closed yesterday with the premiums, because it's going to kill those premiums. So ES, I'm a little bit beside myself on it. This right here was a trend coming down off the top, and I'll show you in a minute. It could easily come up and hit that or this fib. It could actually just consolidate overnight, and then maybe it sells off in the morning, but then again, it may bust through this and just rage. So it's kind of hard to say where we're going to go with it. I wish I had the answers. If we take this one and just run and just see kind of how it's been running, you can see you can see, let me get this up so you can see. You can see right here, it's actually kind of running across the top of that, and it's staying pretty good to it, and then come up through here. This may just come down and just touch in this area and then go up. So it may not even come through, so we'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens. This is just one big rage. 1, 2, 3, 4 days that it's just taken off. So we'll just wait, find out what happens, and then go from there. So let's look at gold. Someone inboxed me a little bit ago and said gold was starting to sell off a little bit, and it looks like it has been trying to sell off. I've got puts on gold too. Usually when gold starts selling off the way it has been lately, when gold starts selling off, the ES is right behind it, just as well as when gold took off. Well, then it wasn't too far behind it. ES started going up. Nothing is running the way it should. Normally, gold will sell off when the market goes up, and vice versa. But they have been running concurrent with each other. So, we can't even go by that. But I have noticed that gold has been making the move before ES. If gold drops down, I've got puts on it too, so that would be a big help. So we could do that, and so I've got gold on the gold puts, ES puts, SPY puts, MES short, and I got an Apple put. So I loaded up on it, and I thought I was going to make like this ridiculous money at 9:30 in the morning, but it didn't happen. So let's go over to crude oil, see what's going on with crude oil. Crude oil has actually hit this trend and actually starting to come down. So that is that descending triangle we've been talking about. That blue line is your upper line. Here's your horizontal line. So it's actually pushing it down. Crude oil had been running with ES. So to me, this kind of, with gold coming down, crude oil coming down, a lot of the stocks in the market have been pulling back. So with all of that going on, I think that ES, like if you look right here, this big old spike, this is on last Friday. Okay, so let's look back here at ES on last Friday. Let's see here. Right here's the Friday. So it's the same spike that ES had. So if we look at closer, we got this spike and then a drop. And then if we go back to the crude oil, we got the spike and the drop. Okay, so it actually was following ES. So when I come back over here now, crude oil sold off all day. With crude oil selling off all day, that makes me think that, and gold is selling off too. That makes me think this right here is a bear trap. So they're going to run it up. They're going to let the bulls take off with it. And as soon as they get it up here, you can see how it's just kind of slowed off. And now it's just kind of consolidating across. It's still kind of going up, so it's actually picking up the retail buyers and so forth. So with all that going on, I think that this is just going to dump. And that's why I base it off of that, because you have crude oil the way it's running. You have gold, the way that's running. It's actually pulling back. It hasn't sold off yet, but it's right there. So it actually run up, hit this, and it's come on down. So if we could take this one, we can actually move this down just so we can watch it during the night and maybe in the morning. But with gold, looks like it's going to sell off. So since they all have been running together, what makes it different today? Well, I think what makes it today is that it's a bear trap. See, I'll be glad when crude oil bottoms and shoots back to 35.40. I'll be glad when crude oil bottoms and shoots to 60, because I've got long calls on it, on CL. So I bought calls too soon on it. I bought calls, when was that? Go back to an hourly. They're May 20 expiration. I bought calls right here. And it come down, and I thought it was just going to take off right here, and that thing just kept on tanking. So by that time, I was a little too late to even try to get out of it, which is bad. But I have long calls. I believed in Trump going to get the market going and stuff, so I held it. I had plenty of time, so I wasn't too worried about the money I had invested in it. So all it takes is just 2-3 days, and this thing can be well on. So if we can get it up to 40.45, that would be a great day for me. And then we have the dollar. Look at that. The dollar is just sold off hard. Just like we said, here's your base. Here's your descending triangle right there. And it fell right out and dropped down. That's a bearish pattern. So that actually fell off. With the dollar kind of going up a little bit here, usually the dollar will sell off when the market goes up. But as you can see, this over in here, the way it was going, the dollar just kept on going. So the dollar, none of the tickers have correlated with each other like they usually do. You can't look at one and tell what the other is going to do. They're all just bogus. So they're playing mind games, the market makers are. You have Dow Jones, huge increase, but that's that V. A lot of times that V, you'll get a kickback on it. And this is actually coming up and touching the 180, and that's on a 1 hour, so it could easily just pull back right here. I really don't want to see it go all the way down to and make a new low or even test that low, but I would like to see it come about halfway and just get a good pullback and then make a good run. That's what I like to see. Financially, I'd like to see it come on way down. That'd be a good day for me, but it's hurting America. Speaking of hurting America, I live in the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina area. Not in Myrtle Beach, but I live close to it. And Myrtle Beach announced today that all tourists will have to pack their bags up and get out of town by 4:30 this Sunday. And whenever they do that, they're not allowed to come back until May. Myrtle Beach never shuts down. If Myrtle Beach shut down, then we're in trouble. So, I mean, that's a lot of tourist money that's going to be coming in. That's not going to be coming into this area that the local businesses need. Personally, I don't mind it because traffic goes away. I like the winters down here. Summers are hard because all the traffic. Then we have NG, natural gas. Natural gas, it just cannot get going. But see here how it's selling off? Well, the whole time the market's been selling off, this would sell off. When the market would go up, this would go up. This is going down right now. If this is going down, the market should be going down. So again, that makes me think bear trap. NQ it runs with ES exactly, so it never really changes. So all the Qs have been going up. I'm in TQ calls. I probably should have sold those today, but I didn't. I don't know why I never, but I just didn't. They're long, so it's no big deal. Even if we get a pullback, it'll still hold out. But this is exactly the same as ES. It come down, it touched this fib, and I actually thought it was going to come down and hit this trend line. And if it would hit this trend line, then I think it would have been, really a perfect call on that. VIX come down, I think 10% today, they said. So VIX is actually pulling down, but see, now VIX is going up. So if VIX is going up, the market's going down. Well, the market still shows going up. So the market, ES, is actually doing total opposite of what everything else is doing. Again, making me think it's a bear trap. We go to AAL. I sold these today. I think I made like $800 some on them today. And I needed something just to kind of brighten my spirits, so I went ahead and put the sell on them yesterday. And it dropped down, and then it shot up, and it went up, and I think it sold right along through here. right around the top of that body. It didn't go up too much after they sold. And what I did was I picked the sell on them and set it on autopilot and just let it go. So American Airlines, long term, I think it's going to be bullish. Right now, I wouldn't buy calls on it yet. I would wait either. I don't even know if I'd buy them on Friday. If you did, I mean, just expect you might lose a little bit of money in the beginning, but you don't think you're going to buy them and it's just going to take off. So, but the best time to buy calls is when it's coming down. So long-term bullish, but it is in this cup and handle, and it's pulling back, and usually it will kind of come out, and then it will drop, and then it will take off. That's the way a cup and handle usually looks. Then you have Apple, same exact one, cup and handle, and it's to take off. So where this one's come down and taken off today, which hurt me. If this would have done that at about 10 or 11 o'clock, I could have got on my put, and then it could have done whatever it wanted to do. Long-term bullish, though. I'm long-term bullish on about anything in the market, AMD especially. AMD is a very good company. I keep talking good about it. I mean, it's just the fundamentals are good. It's just good. They're in just about every computer that you have. So long-term bullish. I think you could easily get back up to the 59.27, the high. I could easily get there within a month or so. So as soon as the market turns for real, it might have already done it, but as soon as it does for real, it's gonna be fine. Amazon, I sold my Amazon yesterday, $5,400 profit, I believe it was, and it actually took off today. I'm glad I sold it then, because even with this little dip right here, where it actually come down and then took off, I would have made less money here than what I would have selling it right here. So I'm happy that I actually sold it. I think it's about 9:30, 9:45, somewhere through there. 9:45, I think. That's where I sold it. I would make more money here than what I would have right there because of this big old crater right here. So, and actually, see, that's almost like an upside down head and shoulders. You've got this, there's your shoulder, that's your head, there's your shoulder. So according to a head and shoulder, if that is an inverse head and shoulder, that's going to take off. So we'll have to see, but it looks like it's selling off. Then we got BA. I sold all of my BA. All of it went out today. I think I might have 10 calls left on it that never sold. Let me look here real quick. Yeah, I've got 20 calls left. I had 40, and I sold 20 of them. All of them went out today. Made decent money on that. I think it was... See, I made like $362.50. No, more than that. I made $402 on that, just selling those off. So that was a little pocket change come out. I think total today, I think I made probably maybe $2,000 somewhere through there. Harrison, I have VLO 135 calls and are worthless. I don't know what's going on with them. The stock has risen all this week, and I'm sitting at a penny. Well, it depends on your strike price, and it depends on your time, and it depends on the implied volatility. So if you bought those at, say, 80% implied volatility, then you bought it at the high. But if you bought them, you're better off if you can to try to buy calls under 30%, and that's hard to do. But if you can buy them under 30%, then as soon as it starts moving, your implied volatility will go up, and you'll make a lot of money. So talk to me about it in the chat, and we'll pull it up on a chart and stuff, and we'll go over and see what you've got, because I don't really have enough information there. Pocket change, yeah. I hear you, Bruce. Then we've got, and as far as the Boeing, I'm long-term bullish on it. Even if you bought it now and it dipped down, I think you're still fine. Everything is in a cup and handle, so except ES. ES is trying to do its own thing, but all the other stocks are cup and handle. I do believe this will probably pull back tomorrow, and I think everything's going to pull back tomorrow. So if this pulls back, maybe even to Monday, and then probably Tuesday will take off. They're going to announce something about the drug for the CV on Tuesday or Wednesday, I would think, based on everything I've been hearing from the president and some of the experts that he has. So I think by then we'll know something. This is a Carnival Cruise Line. I sold all of it. I think it sold yesterday. No, it was today. I sold all my Carnival Cruise Line today, and I think seemed like it was $800 and some I think I made on this one. And yeah, I think it was 8 something that I made on that. So there's your expiration and stuff. I'll pull that up in a minute, Salty. So there is your Carnival Cruise Line is long-term bullish, but with that stimulus plan and everything they've got going out, it's not even fully signed on everything, I don't believe, the last I heard. One report says they've got it signed, one report says they don't, so I really don't know for sure. Until I actually see it in writing, I guess I can't believe it. But it actually pulled back, and I went ahead and put my sell in yesterday, hoping that we would just get a rally and go ahead and sell it. Whenever it dips, I'll go long-term bullish again. I had Royal Caribbean too, RCL. I sold it. It's the same pattern. Same. It's just a different price, but it's the same pattern. And this is a bear flag, and that's one of the reasons I got rid of it. I wanted to put my sell in, try to get rid of it, because I thought it was going to pull down. So that's why. CRM, I am taking a bath. I don't even know why. Maybe the same reason that Salty's hurting on his VLO. I don't know what. When I bought it, I have no idea what the implied volatility was. But I do know I'm taking a bath. I'm down on it. It'll come out. I've got long calls, so I'll be fine. But I must have paid too much for it. That's all we can say. Long-term bullish on it. We're in this V. Everything's in a V right now, and usually when you have that, you'll have a good size pullback, and then it'll take off. Disney. This is a W. So winner, chicken dinner. So if you have a W for winner, more than likely it's probably going to keep on going. That's not to say you won't get a pullback, because you did right there. You actually pulled back last night and then went up. This is running concurrent with ES, but you can see this pulled back. All the stocks pulled back this afternoon except for ES. And usually whatever these do is what ES does. And this is actually getting red candles there. So cruise lines are not included in the stimulus plan because their ships are not registered in the U.S. and therefore they do not pay much U.S. taxes. And I completely agree with that. If you're not part of the U.S., you don't get a stimulus package. It's not our problem. Go to your own country. Then we have, and I'm long-term Disney, long bullish. LYV, I sold it yesterday. I might even pull this one out, but I try to put the stocks in there that I'm trading and also what some other people are doing. But LYV, Live Nation, is going to be long-term bullish. Whenever everybody gets back to work and stuff, they're going to be buying concert tickets, and when the venues open up to where you can get in there and actually, rub up against someone and not get cooties or anything, then I think this will actually take off. So I think Live Nation may continue to go up right now, may pull back a little more. I think the whole market is going to pull back for the next couple of days, and then once it does, then I would get in it and I would buy, January calls or so, buy something long. Netflix, still upset about that. $3,200 there, $800 here. Crazy. I should have sold it. But see how this one is more of a cup handle and then it's kind of coming up. This one makes more sense. ES did not fully do that. And several of the stocks never fully did that. Some did. But this could easily pull back even more. It's not to say, like if you look at that one, you could do a channel. You could do a channel there, and it's actually, see, this bottom's good. It's actually broke out of the channel. This may continue to go on, and I want the market to drop and I want Netflix to soar. If that happens, as soon as it gets up here, then I'm going to sell it and take my profit, and I'm not doing that again. So Netflix, I'm long-term bullish. Everybody's starting to watch the new season, Ozark, and there was some others. I can't remember that one that someone mentioned earlier. Someone mentioned one in the Discord channel a while ago, and I can't remember what it was. It was OK that did it. Then we have NVDA, NVIDIA, same chart. This one, that's quite a big channel, but it's actually working it from here to there, come up a little bit, and then it come on up. It's touching here and coming on down. This will probably sell off on down, and this actually corresponds with what the market should be doing. If this sells off and comes down to here, then that would make sense with what ES is doing. So will it continue to go up here? It could, but it may go ahead and come down. Tiger, was that the name of the series that he was talking about? And then we have Roku, long-term bullish. It is actually, we drew this out. This is that teacup, and it actually went ahead and come down a little more. It sold off all day. It didn't go with ES. It sold off. So this may go ahead and come down one more day. Again, another reason that I think the market is trying to fool you. Just because ES is going up don't mean the rest of the market goes up. So a lot of stuff is actually sold off all day. But ES, the S&P 500, I mean, a lot of people look at that as the Bible and think that, we're all fine. So then everybody starts jumping in, buying up stock, and then what they do is dump it on you. Tiger King is the name of that series. I need to watch that. Then you got Space. Space is not doing what Tesla did today. SpaceX launched a rocket today. Christy, that lives down in Florida, sent us a picture of it. She was down on the beach. They were all down there fishing, and she sent us the picture showing it. And I wish I had it pulled up, but I don't. But that was pretty interesting. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. If I can find out where she was in. There it is, right there. Let me open this up. See if I can get it over on the screen. And see if it'll show. If I do whole screen, there it is. So there is the rocket for SpaceX today. She was standing on the beach. They were all down there fishing and stuff, and Elon launched his own rocket up through there. So pretty cool. There we go. And let's see here. Hello, John. Thanks for stopping in. Then we've got space itself. I think long term, I think it'll probably be fine. But the one thing about Richard is he hasn't even launched a rocket yet, and he's got all this money coming in and stuff, and everybody's just it's all hype. There's really no business there yet because he's got deposits of the $250,000 per flight per person, but there's no one ever actually went up. So this is all hype for me right now. It's in that same cup and handle and going to take off. Long-term bullish. I don't know where it's going to go because it is kind of hype. John, we are at SPY right now. We just pulled up to it. So let me take these off. Take my orders off. And SPY 220 would be awesome. I would love to see SPY 220. Will it go to 220? I don't know. But if it went to 220, I'm telling you, I would be like dancing all weekend, happy because I would make a fortune. I thought that it would actually come down to about 232 today. That's where I thought it would go and then bounce out. But again, SPY is going up. It looks like it's actually trying to pull back now. And that line that we drew today in the midday recap, this was not even set in stone. I just kind of drew it up there at a distance and tried to pick up different ones. And you can see it's actually pulling up and staying right with it. So let's try to adjust that a little more. It's right there, and then we come down here. About right there. Let me look at this one here again. Right there. So I was looking down here, and if we stop in and look at this, you can see the candles are coming down right on top of it. A little bit below there, and then it come up and bounce across the bottom, this one played a little bit with it, and then we come back here where we are now. We can see that it is kind of following along that. So, and it looks like it's pulling back here. If that 15 crosses that 50 right there, then I would be really happy about that because it's just going to sell off. So that looks good. So, and this is in our midday Discord channel. we did this line. I just kind of hit it real quick so we could kind of get a general idea of where it was. But it looks like it's hitting the bottom of that and just going to sell off there. That's not to say it won't cross this line or keep on going with the line, but that is a pretty good trend line, to be quite honest. And I found that today while we were charting out some stuff. So I feel pretty good that that is going to probably be the trend, and it's going to sell off. And based off all the other, all the other tickers that I pulled up, everything says sell off. ES is the only one, and SPY. They're the only ones that have actually rallied all day. The majority of everything else has already been pulling back and it's selling off in after hours. ES kept on running up, which means SPY goes with it. So again, I think this is going to pull back. I'm really hoping for it. Then we have TLT. That's the 20-year Treasury bond. I tell everybody I'm not real familiar with Treasury bonds. I did make a lot of money down there on $11,000. That was pocket change, Bruce. The $11,000. That was like your pocket change. The Treasury bond, I'm not in it right now. I'm following it every day because I want to see how it reacts to the market. I'd really like to see how it reacts to it on a normal circumstance. So I'd like to trade the bonds, but right now I don't know enough about them to say to trade them. So I'm staying out. And this consolidation right here, you can't make any money there anyway. If you bought it here and then sold it there, fine. But I usually don't day trade. I usually just swing trade. These kind of runs is what I'm looking for. This right here is a no. And with it consolidating over, this is actually, we'll take this off. This is no longer there. So we're going to take those out. I hear you, Bruce. We know who's got the money. I don't drive a vet. I know you do. Tesla. Tesla, same thing. We actually hit this pennant right here. We're going to take that out because we've already broke it. We don't need that on the chart anymore. We broke it, dropped down, and it's just really kind of consolidating in a downward motion. Yeah. See, John knows who's got the money. It's Bruce. He's like, what's that Batman's name? Bruce, what's his name? Right there he is. He's incognito. Bruce Wayne, that's what it was. So it's not Bruce Snyder, it's Bruce Wayne. So this is staying in that channel. We can see how long it goes in that channel. One thing about this is it's on that 180 right now, so this 180 may hold it up. If it breaks below that 180, it's going to keep on going. Is Bruce a sailor? Well, I tell you what, sometimes he talks like a sailor. I know that. Chuck and cheese tokens, yeah. That's because that baby. Then we have Twitter. Twitter is, we talked about this one, about this possibly being a horizontal channel and this being the trend. I really don't go along with that. I think it's more, if we do, we could actually do a trend line from, say, here over to there. Now, one thing about, if that is true, this one right here, let's see how far back we can go with that. Can't go to there. So if this one is true, this is actually an ascending wedge pattern. That's bearish. So there's a chance that might actually pull out and drop down. And that would actually kind of go in line with what we're thinking about tomorrow. So this could easily drop out right here and sell off to through Friday. Now, when it sells off, it don't have to keep on going forever. It'll usually sell down and then it'll dip back up. That's usually what an ascending wedge will do. So, and usually it's over a couple of days. So that would be, I've got calls on it, but if this dipped down and come back up, then that would make sense with the market. You're welcome, Clay. And let's see, the last one here is Walmart. We all hate Walmart right now. Walmart was going really good, and then the news come out and said how great Walmart was doing, and within 1 hour of the news talking about it, it actually tanked. And it came up, it tanked, and it's tanked and tanked and tanked. And this one I'm getting hurt on bad. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. Stupid mistakes. This one cost me thousands of dollars. They expire tomorrow, and I'm going to do a video talking about what it is, so you can learn from my mistake. It's a lot of money, and it's the biggest loss I've taken in a very long time, and it was against my rules. It was against every trading rule that I do, and it's not good. So, yep, Walmart is, and I made a lot of money on Walmart. I made $8,500 on it last Wednesday, but it's going to take back some money tomorrow. Almost half of that it'll take back, and that just sucks because it was against my rules. I knew not to do it, and hopefully by me talking about it tomorrow, then you will actually know what it is. So when you see a live stream pop up and it's talking about Walmart, that's the one you want to get in, because we're going to be talking, that's going to be educational for everybody and humiliating for me. So I talk about my good and my bad. I don't just talk about all my good trades. I tell you my bad ones. So that's right. Yeah. Walmart should be going up right now. I mean, they're selling out those shelves, and plus they're stepping up and helping with their parking lots, and I mean it should have just taken off. I mean it ought to be 150 right now, but it's not. So enough about Walmart. It gets me depressed, and I've still got calls in it that are longer out, and I'll end up making up for it. I've already made the money. It's just a matter of I'm gonna have to give some back. So if we go back to ES, and it's still looking good, it's looking like it's going to be a good sell right here. Anytime you're underneath the VWAP and you stay there, and now we're below the 15, it's looking like it's going to be pretty good. This 15, when it crosses that 50, then I'll be feeling a lot better about it. But if you look back here, it actually dropped below the 15 here, but it was above your VWAP. So being above the VWAP, that doesn't really mean anything. Right here, we're below the VWAP. So to me, that says that we're going to sell off. That's not to say that it won't keep on going. You're 1,000 in the hole. I tell you what, I'd trade you. Multiply that by 4. That's what I'm talking about, and it's bad. And I don't have April calls. I've got what is tomorrow? March 27th calls. That's what I've got. So I'm the one going to be hurting. But if this market drops tonight, I will probably be screaming like I did when I made 85 on Walmart last week. I went downstairs, my wife and kid, and I had some relatives in, and they were getting excited with me. So it was good. So ES looks like it's going to sell off. It's underneath that VWAP. So everything that we thought that is going to happen is going to happen. It just shouldn't have run up like this, but at the same time, yeah, maybe they're going to have the biggest drop they've ever had in history, and it's going to be tomorrow. I couldn't get lucky enough, probably. We actually had 3 days in a row that have been green, and we haven't had that in a month. So they hit that record. So now that they've got that record out of the way, now they can drop it, because they don't need 4. They can go ahead and drop it. Trade me accounts. I'm not going to trade you account. I got a decent little account. But so I'm not going to do that. I'll just trade you the Walmart call, because I could add to that. I could take your position at the low that Walmart is right now, Clay, and you can go ahead and add in and average that down, depending on what date it is. It's probably April 17th. And if you have that, right now's the time to add to it. Actually, when we started adding to it today in the, I think we did it live maybe, or we were talking. No, I did it before the live stream. When it was at its low, you should have went ahead and, like if you had, say, 10 calls on it and you're way up, as far as on the price, you can go in there. And if you bought 20 calls at a much lower price, then that's going to bring your average down so much. So whenever Walmart starts to turn and spike up, you're going to be in the money. So that's how you do that. So we'll do some more talks on that in the Discord, but that's what you do. You got to average it down. What time? That's good, Clay. Good. So you did the right thing. April 24th. So you've even got a lot more time. You've actually got, let's see, that's today's 24th to be 28. So you've got 7 more days before Theta kicks in. So you're actually setting really good, especially if you average down today. So good job. What time tomorrow? Well, market closes at 4 o'clock. I've got till 4 o'clock to make something happen. Will I average them down? Absolutely not. When you're that close, you can't average down. When you're a month away, you can. If you're a week away, probably not, depending on where you are. I usually don't. Yeah, I heard him on there a while ago. I actually held off. I like Trump, though. I'm a Trump man. I've got Trump Yeti cups and everything. When I go up to where it's a real liberal state, I make sure I take my Trump cup and I turn it to when I'm drinking out of it, they can see Trump. I'm all about Trump. He's not a perfect man, but you know what? He is bringing our country back to where it should be, and he's at least vocal and telling us what is going on instead of hiding it behind the politicians. So his personal life, I don't really care for, but his business mind of bringing in the right people, I'm 100% behind him. And then, Clay, I'm glad you're learning. Our Discord channel is all about education. It is about call-outs and making you money. Adam started off, I can't remember how much it was. I think he's up $17,000 in a month of being in the group. And so he's up to like 20, I think it was either $23,000 or $24,000 of where he is now. And it's on Facebook. You can go in there on our group and look at it. He did a shout out, and you can see his account and everything. So it is, it's truthful. I've known Adam. I actually taught him options. He didn't know anything about them, and I taught him options back starting in the middle of December, before I started my group, and I started teaching him, and I had him going in about a week. He was actually knowing how to buy. I taught him how to do the fibs and all that stuff. So he is living proof that I can get you to where you need to go. And yes, Adam is a great guy. I like Adam. He's a Buckeye. We got to hold that against him, but he's a really good guy. Got a good wife and family. Really good guy to have in the group. So unless you all have any tickets, I see. No, someone had Salty. You had BLO, didn't you? I forgot about that. Almost hung up without it. BLO. I don't even know what it is. Valergy Energy. I guess I pulled this before for somebody. Let's see. Go to a weekly. And the fibs, they're right. I think I actually pulled this one for you within the last day or two. So if we go back to here, it's got the winter chicken dinner, the big W right here. But again, I mean, it's following the market. So I'd say, and looking at this, I don't really look at MACD that much, but if you look at this MACD, you can see the curl, and it's pretty well oversold up here, or overbought. So it's probably going to pull back. It's probably going to come back tonight. So, and I hope if you have calls on it, then I'm sorry, but I hope it actually pulls back, because I want the market to. If you got long calls, you won't get hurt. So, Adam's the man. Yes, he is. Good teacher, even if you get a hard time. Yeah, I always give you a hard time. I appreciate that, though. Me and Bruce have been trading for a year together. We've been in other Discord groups, and we actually had just a private group with just a few of us in it, and we've traded together a long time. Bruce is a good guy, good friend. Let's see. Clay is the VLO. Yeah, that's the same one. So I think long-term bullish on it. I'd be fine. I've already went over VIX. You can go ahead, when this is over, you can look back on the stream, and I've already went over VIX. It was probably about halfway through. I do all the futures in the beginning, and I do VIX at the end of the future. So it would be after Dow Jones, probably, to give you an idea. Any others before I hang up? Everything's pretty well running the same. It don't matter what ticker you pull up. They all look the same. If you follow ES, chart it out, you can usually find out what your chart's going to do on whatever. Well, again, if you are not in our Discord group, check us out. It is definitely worth your money. The people are making a ton of money in it. Days like today weren't great, but until you sell, you don't lose or make money. So today is just one of those days, and we teach how to avoid these bad days to make them not actually affect your account. So that's what we do in the Discord. Doing live call-outs. We do live streaming during the day. Talk about our trades, what we're going to do, where we're going to sell. So if you're not real good about knowing what to do, then it's actually good for you. But you're better off to do your own charting and stuff to make sure you can trade right. You never want to follow anybody, including me. I mess up sometimes, so just because you're following me doesn't mean that you're not going to lose any money, because I lose money sometimes. Tomorrow I'm losing big, and I hope no one followed me on that trade, but I did put that it was high risk and possible day trade. So, and I probably only do 2 or 3 day trades a month. I don't do many. I like to buy it and hold it and let it go. I'm lazy with trading. Just want to buy and hold, sell it next week, make 10,000. That's my kind of trading. It's a lot less stress to do it that way. Well, guys, if you would like, share, and subscribe, I only see 2 likes on there, and I've got a bunch of people on here. So please hit that like button, share this video, get other people to subscribe. If you're not actually subscribed to it, please do so. I need to get up to 100 subscribers in order for me to do what I need to do with the channel. So it would definitely help me out if we can get 100. I know that's not very many, but right now it's a lot to me. Percentage-wise, it's pretty big. Eventually, I'm asking, for the 1,000, then 10,000, 100,000, a million. But for right now, just get me 100 subscribers, and I would be pretty tickled. So, Louise, thank you, buddy. I like you all too. Well, I'm going to get off here, and I will see you guys. I'll be in the Discord chat here soon. Probably about 20 or 30 minutes. I'm going to grab me a bite to eat, and then I'll be in there the rest of the evening. I've got to work on build my website. I'm going to be launching the futures future contracts course tonight. I've got to look at one more thing, but it's going to be launched tonight. Our members are going to see it first. If you are a Discord member, you're going to get a discount. It's going to be $199, but if you're a member, you're going to get a $50 discount if you buy it within the next 24 hours of listing it. So only the members are going to get it. If you're not a member, you don't get the discount. So that's over half of your membership right there for 1 month. And I will see you guys here in a little bit. Thanks a lot. Please like, share, and subscribe.